Hello Scorpio, and welcome to your Scorpio January 2022 reading and predictions. Hi, I'm Nigel Saint James, for those of you who are stopping by for the first time, and to the subscribers. Great to see you. Hope you're doing well. Love and affection to you as always. Now, as a subscriber, you'll know that I've produced the 2022 yearly reading, which uses 12 cards, one for each month of the year. Beautiful Renaissance deck. And you can find that on the playlist on the channel. Simple. There's only about 3 things on it, and that's one of them. Easy to find, and goes for about half an hour, I think. Now, this deck here, you know how I usually use a lot of astrology, numerology, mystical Kabbalah, different things in the readings each month. Well, this deck actually says to me, don't use any of that when you're using me. It says to me, center yourself and let words from centers of consciousness come through and talk directly to you, which is what we're going to do. And so what I would ask you to do then is to listen to, now this might have something to do with your shadow self, your shadow side. Now, it's nothing to be frightened of, have a shadow self. We all want to know what's going on sometimes in our subconscious because we can think upon it. And in January, it's the ideal time of year to look at that, isn't it? And do some sort of weeding of the mental garden, I suppose. So listen to the words as they come through. I probably won't have much of an understanding as to what it is, but you will understand it, and they will have reference to the artwork on the cards that's there. And as I say, it's probably from a lot of principles also, which I've picked up from the various mystery religions of about 2,000, 3,000 years ago. Anyway, let's get 5 cards for you and get it underway. There's the 3 of Pentacles. That's a good start, I think. There's the 9 of Pentacles. There is the Tower. What is here? Let's have a look. There's the Hermit. The Hermit's been coming up. Let's have a look. And there's the Princess of Swords. Well, it's a great air card for you. Now, why don't you do what we usually do is I'll ask you to come and sit down here next to me, pull up a chair, we'll have a look at the close look at the imagery on these cards together. Well, I'll do the reading for you. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I'd like to look at this, so let's do this one first, shall we? And it is the Hermit. Now, this image here, let's have a look at it. The image here is that, well, beneath the heavenly light show of the northern lights, surrounded by the stark beauty of the Arctic, an Inuit, sometimes called an Eskimo, but an Inuit shaman drums to call forth the spirits of the land and her helping spirits as well. She's undergone a great many terrible trials, including her own death, to gain the wisdom that she uses to serve her community. Although she remains other, she is intimately linked to her community and serves it with all of her power and spiritual wisdom. Now, in the darkest of times, she is the last resort, shining a light to bring her people back from the darkness. Now, the Hermit, as suggested by her name, may withdraw herself from society or community in order to, in the ensuing silence, find a greater understanding of the other, whether that is the spirit world, the soul, nature, or the inner processes of spiritual transformation. However, it is vitally important for the Hermit to return to her people, bringing them the gift of her wisdom and spiritual power. Now, what is the mystery here? I see your eyes and see that you are called to the roads beyond this world, to the night roads. You carry the flame of yearning, but you desire darkness. This is the answer your soul has been looking for, but you did not discover it. It was already seeded in your heart. in the realm of the other. You might plant the seeds of wisdom in the realms of the ancestors and the spirits. You might battle with fear and self, thereby to gain the hard-won prize of illumination. O seeker, I know you. You hear the call of the pieces of your soul torn away, pulling you to them. This is the only path that can be taken for all our journeys to the enlightenment of the self. Some say, seeker, travel only the light roads of the heavens. Some say, seeker, take the road of the underworld. But these roads take you in the same direction within. Listen to my song. Know that I say this because I have traveled these roads. I have descended and ascended, have faced the fears in the darkness and defeated them, and have been destroyed and reborn. I carry the fires of hell and the blazing stars in one place, and it is by virtue of the darkness that they shine so brightly, so others may know their way by them. I am the mystery of the pole star, the guiding light, the drumbeat of the initiation, leading your way in the darkness. I am wisdom won through battle and strife. I am the journey within. Well, let's have a look and see. Yeah, what is there here? Let's have a look at this one. Okay. I like this. Now, this guy here is a member of a Hindu sect called the Agoris. Now, this image here shows an interesting process. Many people experience the sudden devastation of the tower without conscious decision when external events influence our internal processes. Now, for the Agoris of India, it is a process that is consciously sought, and so they may be liberated from fear and the attachments that hold them in the wheel of suffering. Now, Agoris are ascetics devoted to the god Shiva in Hinduism, who usually perform their rites in cremation grounds, or they may even live within the cremation grounds. They paint their skin, as you can see here, with cremation ash, and are often seen with matted hair or dreadlocks. Now, very often they are just completely naked, and sometimes they wear loincloths, very often made from the funerary shrouds, and necklaces of beads shaped like skulls. Now, the mystery. For many lifetimes you might chant peacefully in honor of the gods, meditating on their great names on a gentle road to liberation. But I offer you initiation into the mysteries of destruction, incineration, of exposure to the most terrifying and repulsive, so that you might stand and become part of the dance of destruction that stirs up this world. Come to the cremation ground to see how everything burns, how the universe is fed from the fires of the final sacrifice. Now, my adorants, adorned with ash from the cremation pyres, drink thirstily from the skull cups, consuming pollution and food with equal acceptance. They have truth in their eyes. They know liberty and freedom, not fear, nor shame, nor desire, nor attachment. They have walked the paths among the corpses and vultures for so long there is no terror for them. When I finally come for them, I, inexorable time, the devourer, they will not weep
and cling to the falsehood of self and I. For what are these constructs you have created but a vain attempt to escape death? Foolishness, all dies. All that is created must be destroyed, and these bonds you have made will only make it more painful. Let go. Give in. Learn that you have walked among ghosts all of your life. On the day I come for you, covered in ashes and dreadlocks, frenzied and dancing, and accompanied by fearsome spirits, I will carry your skull as my cup. Let me take your hand as Lord and Father, and your consumption in the great fire will be a swift and sweet release. Well, seeing as we're on these sort of themes, let's have a look at this Three of Pentacles, shall we? Now, what do we have here? Well, in the card painting, we see a man using his skills as a stonemason to carve the symbol of the three jewels of Buddhism onto a rock. This rock will become part of a larger building in the great temple complexes of ancient Angkor in Cambodia, reminding us that there is always more and greater work to do once we have reached completion on current projects. Now, the three jewels, also called the three refuges, are a vital aspect of Buddhism. These jewels are the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. The Buddha represents both the historical Buddha and the Buddha nature of each person, one's highest spiritual potential. Dharma is the teaching of the Buddha, and Sangha is the monastic community and sometimes the wider community of practicing Buddhists. Now, traditionally, the three pentacles of this card are associated with the three aspects of the self: mind, body, and spirit. And these can be associated with Dharma, Sangha, and Buddha, respectively. And together, these three aspects of the self, well, they interact and create something truly great. Now, what is the mystery here? The road of the craftsman is a long one, for he carves his works into the hardest parts of the world and creates the greatest of structures on the earth. Aeons after his name has been lost to the winds, and memory his work lives on, attesting to his skill and showing his heart. His legacy is long-lived and virtuous, for into his work he bleeds his mind, body, and soul. He gives his entire self in the process of endeavoring. Now, a craftsman is nothing without a craft, little without a goal to accomplish. By his work he is defined, by his accomplishments he is known. Now, if you seek to learn the mysteries of the great work, you must devote yourself to the restrictions by which you wish to work. Take on the yoke of structure and tread upon the foundations of wisdom born from the fruit of others' labors. It is only through this that you might accomplish the greatest of endeavors. Know my name as Master, as Skilled One, as Work. Tread my pathways, and you shall come to the road that shall lead you to your destiny. Well, let's look at another Pentacles card, and then we'll do the Glamour Girl at the end. Let's have a look at this. What is this? Let me see. Okay. Well, That's an interesting painting, I think. You know, the card image shows a young woman relaxing on the low walls of her garden. Now, behind her is her elegant and rich home, signifying the comfort and wealth in which she lives. Another indicator of her high status is her clothing. Silk was imported back in the old days from Siam, which of course is today Thailand, and what is also another area is what is today southern Vietnam. And patterned cloth was not really affordable to those of lower ranks. Now, in the Khmer Empire of Cambodia, there's a Cambodian theme here, women appear to have enjoyed a relative amount of independence and respect, you know. Actually, it was the women who took charge of trade and business. And if, for this reason, someone from China, a man from China arriving in, say, in what is today Cambodia, he would lose no time in getting himself a mate, for he would find her commercial instincts to be a great asset. Now, this is supported by the Bayonne bas-relief that depicts the market scenes in which many of the traders are women. This reminds us of the independent nature of the Nine of Pentacles, I think, which often represents somebody who can be independently wealthy within also, and who doesn't rely on others for comfort or security. Now, the mystery, I think, associated with this card is one of the sweetest things in life is to luxuriate in what you have earned, to surround yourself in the joys of your success, to taste the fruits of your labors. Even sweeter is the knowledge that your wealth is born from independent endeavor, owing nothing to others, kindled and sustained by your will alone. This is my road, the road of individual success, of one who works on their own terms, of the generation of one's own wealth. My name is independence and self-reliance, and my rituals are the enjoyment of that which brings delight to the day and joy to the night. Now bejewel yourself in your glorious works, array yourself in your achievements. Rely not on others for your stability and wealth, but trust that your steps along the road are holy and perfect. Understand the source of your wisdom and the foundation of your sources. Seek not standing still, but seek growth. Know your greatest riches and their worth. Yet remember that these are not the source of your self-worth, for this lies in your own courage and dedication. And then I think probably a similar sort of theme is going to be provided by Miss January here. This is the Princess of Swords. Look, you know, like her sisters, although the Princess of Swords is the lowest of her court in the suit of swords, she performs a vital role. Residing in the suit of air, the suit of the mind, thoughts, words, and communication, the earthy role of the princess serves to bring ideas into manifestation and to apply theories to the real world and contain wisdom and knowledge. Now, the Princess of Swords represents all the ways in which you store knowledge, ideas, and wisdom, and all the ways your ideas and thoughts impact upon the world around you. She asks you to consider how your words shape your world, for it is in her realm that you find thoughts becoming reality. Now, since she is the youngest of her court, she also brings youth and fierceness, representing the beginnings of research, the foundational steps towards an idea being put to use, plans being made to manifest new ideas and revolutionary ideas even that challenge traditionally accepted wisdom. Since she is esoterically both earth and air, she can correspond with the grounding and containing of the mind, thought, and intellect, or she can correspond with the breaking down of ideas with the application of her mind. Now, the mystery associated with her, I think, is this, that how many words have you spoken in your years? Did they fall from your mouth accidentally, or were they chosen with care in the knowledge that every utterance from your lips creates and perpetuates the universe? Words bear the sign of the gods, for they make their mark upon the world for good or ill. Learn to discount nothing in thought or speech. There is magic in these words, and in the silence between them, in the intake of breath, the inspiration necessary to fuel them. You, like the gods, can speak the divine word, bringing it down to the earth. You need only speak to create reality, to draw down to manifestation your thoughts and ensure that they cannot be changed. They must be written. Thereafter, they may be shown to others and challenged. Writing is as sacred as the speech that precedes it. The act of putting into form your fresh ideas is holy. But what is worthy of note and record? I question continually, for without asking there can be no challenge, no freedom in thought or speech. Never be afraid to ask and question. Challenge every idea, every word. I am the container of all knowledge and wisdom, and it is in my hall that runs the river of knowledge. Here I meet each day with the wanderer, the wise one. We share of the waters of knowledge, and together we create the world anew from debate and conversation. Now, you may not find me in your heart, for I rarely reside in your passions. Find me in the mind and speech of the sages, and in the pages of books. There, if you challenge and question, give form to thought and manifest ideas, I will grant you the keys to wisdom. Well, what a very interesting spread for you. That's the way it is for you this month. Well, that's January 2022 done for you. Fascinating, absolutely fascinating, I think. Don't you? I think it's going to be a great month for you, and don't you deserve it? You really do. Anyway, some interesting food for thought there, I think, and you know how to do it. Onwards and upwards for you always. Now, remember one thing, and it's one thing to remember until I see you again, and it is this, that you are a legend, and I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.